Imagine this, if you will. You are sitting quietly by a lake. Perhaps it's in the lovely Lake District, or maybe the Norfolk Broads. The water is wonderfully still, like a sheet of polished glass, really. It reflects the big, fluffy clouds above. A gentle breeze whispers through the reeds. It's all frightfully peaceful, isn't it? A perfect picture of English serenity. You look around, taking it all in. Everything seems so very ancient, as if it has been precisely this way for thousands upon thousands of years. The rolling green hills in the distance, the old trees lining the water's edge, it all speaks of timelessness, you see, of nature's slow, patient, careful handiwork. You might think this is nature untouched, a truly unspoiled, perfect landscape. And the wildlife, goodness me, it's a veritable hub of activity. Dragonflies with their shimmering, delicate wings. They zip and dance over the water's surface. Fish, perhaps a plump brown trout, make little plipping splashes now and then. Maybe you spot a shy water vole, or a family of ducks paddling in a neat line. The plants too, they seem to belong completely. Wildflowers adding lovely splashes of colour, this deep tranquility, it's quite something. It's like a warm, soothing balm for the often frazzled modern soul. You can almost feel your worries drifting away on that gentle breeze. These lakes, they are true sanctuaries, places where the frantic, noisy pace of the everyday world just melts away. It's easy to believe with all your heart. These spots are pure, unadulterated natural wonders. Now hold on to your walking sticks, folks, because I have a rather surprising little tidbit of information to share about these wonderfully serene, peaceful lakes, many of them, you know. Especially in places like the Broads. Well, they aren't quite as natural as they might appear at first glance. I know it's a bit of a shocker, like finding out your garden gnome has a secret life. You see, long before these shimmering waters, gathered in these picturesque hollows, many of these spots were something else entirely. They were vast, sprawling peat bogs. Imagine wide, marshy, rather damp areas full of sphagnum moss and other plants, slowly, very slowly decaying over centuries. This soggy brown stuff called peat, built up layer upon squishy layer, a bit like a giant natural earthy sponge. So what on earth happened to all that peat? Well, people, clever and resourceful as ever, dug it up, that's what they did. For hundreds, even thousands of years, they'd cut out these big brick-like chunks, using special tools, often by hand. Then they'd lay it all out to dry. In the sun and the wind, you see, it was hard, back-breaking work, no doubt. This dried peat was incredibly valuable fuel, and those enormous holes they dug, the great pits and trenches left behind, where all that useful peat used to be. Mother Nature, in her wonderfully ingenious way, didn't let them stay empty for very long. Rain fell, as it often does in England. Springs and little streams trickled in, and slowly, gradually, over many years, these excavations filled up with water, creating the very lakes we admire so much today. Just think about those ancient people, huddled around a smoky, glowing peat fire. It wasn't just for a bit of warmth, though that was terribly important, of course. It was for cooking their daily meals, for keeping the frightening darkness at bay, and perhaps even for scaring off wild animals. Peat was one of humanity's earliest fuels, a smelly but essential gift from the bog. Simple times, but fire was truly life itself. And isn't it just fascinating to consider how our fuel sources have evolved? We started with the simplest things, like peat and then fallen branches and wood. Then, being the clever clogs that we are, we discovered the power of coal, which burned hotter and lasted much longer. Then came oil and natural gas, you know, powering our rapidly expanding whiz-bang world. Each step was a giant leap in energy. Now fire, at its very core, is a rather exciting chemical reaction, isn't it? It's all about releasing stored energy. The peat, the wood, the coal, all of it. They hold energy captured from the sun by plants, often an incredibly long time ago. When you burn them, you're letting that ancient trapped sunshine out into the world. It's quite a poetic thought, really. But here's an even funnier, more personal one. Your own body, believe it or not, is a bit like a very sophisticated and wonderfully quiet internal combustion engine. The food you eat, your breakfast, your lunch, that's your fuel, absolutely packed with energy, and the oxygen you breathe in every moment, that helps to burn the fuel slowly. In a marvelous process called cellular respiration, it releases the energy your body needs to walk, to talk, even to ponder these words. It truly is quite astonishing sometimes, when you stop and properly think about it, how far we've journeyed as a species in our never-ending quest for more energy, from painstakingly digging peat out of the ground, with nothing more than simple, basic tools, to constructing these immense, complex power plants, nuclear reactors humming with untold power, and vast, glittering solar farms soaking up sunlight. It's a real testament to human ingenuity. Scientists, bless their analytical minds, they have this rather grand way of thinking about civilizations and their development. It's called the Kardashev scale, if you're curious. It measures how advanced a civilization is, based purely on how much energy it can harness. A Type 1 civilization can use all the energy available on its home planet. Think weather control. A Type 2 can harness its entire star. And a Type 3, the whole galaxy. So, where do we humanity fit in on this rather daunting cosmic energy ladder? Well, the somewhat humbling, sobering truth is, we're not even a proper Type 1 civilization yet. Not even close, according to many clever folk. We're still mostly bickering over fossil fuels, still trying to figure out how to power our world sustainably without making too much of a mess. We're like toddlers with a very powerful chemistry set. Lots of potential, but also lots to learn. And that, my friends, makes you wonder. Doesn't it just set your mind worrying? What will our future energy sources look like? Will we finally crack the secret of fusion power, or perhaps discover something entirely new and unexpected, something we can't even begin to imagine today? And what will be the peat bogs of tomorrow, the landscapes shaped, perhaps quite unintentionally, by our relentless, ongoing search for more power? It's a big, thought-provoking question for the campfire.